slides identified by special stains and confirmed by low power. Yellow elastic connective tissue in ligamentum nuchae stained with Vangezo. It appears yellow in color. Ground compact bone unstained. It appears brown in color. Nerve trunk stained with osmic. It appears black in color. Spinal ganglia stained with silver. It appears brown in color. Yellow elastic connective tissue, an example of dense regular connective tissue composed of predominant of thin branching yellow elastic fibers and fibrocytes in little amount of ground substance. An example, section of ligamentum nuchae. Transverse section of ground compact bone unstained. It shows the Haversian system formed of Haversian canal surrounded by lacunae connected together by canaliculi, all filled with air and appear black. Nerve trunk stained with osmic. By naked eye and eyepiece it appears as a black small spot. By low power it shows bundles of black small circles representing the stained myelin sheath, arranged in groups separated by connective tissue perineurium. The whole nerve trunk is surrounded by connective tissue epineurium. By high power, the myelin sheath appears as a black small circles. Spinal ganglia stained with silver. By naked eye and eyepiece it is small, rounded, brown in color. By low power, unipolar, round nerve cells of variable sizes, brown in color, are present in rows or groups, mainly under the capsule, separated by excessive nerve fibers. Other slides identified by special stains and confirmed by low power and sometimes by high power are Golgi apparatus in nerve cells stained with silver, identified by high power. Golgi apparatus in epididymis stained with silver and hematoxylin, identified by high power. Golgi apparatus in epididymis stained with silver, identified by high power. A reticular connective tissue in the liver stained with silver, identified by low power. A reticular connective tissue of lymph node stained with silver, identified by low power. Reticular connective tissue of the spleen stained with silver, identified by low power. Glycogen granules in liver cells stained with pes carmine, identified by low power and by high power. Glycogen granules in liver cells stained with periodic acid Schiff, PAS, identified by low power and high power. Nisl granules in nerve cells stained with thloidine blue, identified by high power. Fat globules in adipose connective tissue stained with Sudan 3, identified by low power. Adult lung injected with gelatine carmine, identified by low power. For easy diagnosis of the different slides, it is better to classify them according to the color of the stain. Those stained with silver are dark brown. There are 6 slides, 3 identified by high power and the other 3 identified by low power. Those identified by high power are Golgi apparatus in nerve cell, Golgi apparatus in epididymis, stained with silver and counter-stained with hematoxylin. Golgi apparatus in epididymis stained with silver. Those identified by low power are reticular fibers in the liver, reticular fibers in lymph node, reticular fibers in the spleen. Golgi apparatus in nerve cells stained with silver. By eyepiece it appears as a small-sized brown spot. By low power and high power, Golgi apparatus appears as irregular brown network surrounding the unstained nucleus. Golgi apparatus in epididymis stained with silver and hematoxylin to stain the nucleus. By eyepiece it appears as a small-sized brown spot. By low power and high power, Golgi apparatus appears as irregular brown network between the nucleus, blue in color, and the free surface of the cell. Golgi apparatus in epididymis stained with silver. By eyepiece it appears as a small-sized brown spot. By low power and high power, Golgi apparatus appears as irregular brown network between the nucleus and the free surface of the cell. Reticular connective tissue in the liver stained with silver. By eyepiece it is a large-sized dark brown tissue. By low power it appears as a dark brown network, looks like radiating sun rays from the central vein. Lymph node stained with silver for studying the reticular stroma. By eyepiece it is a large-sized brown tissue. By low power it shows dark brown peripheral cortex containing rounded follicles and paler central medulla. The stroma formed of capsule, trabeculae, and reticular stroma are dark brown. Spleen stained with silver for studying the reticular stroma. By eyepiece it is a large dark brown organ. By low power it shows dark brown lymph follicles scattered having central arterioles, eccentric in position. The stroma formed of capsule, trabeculae, and reticular stroma are dark brown. Blue stained section nestles granules in nerve cells stained with tloidium blue. By eyepiece large-sized light basophilic tissue is present. By high power, dark basophilic granules are seen scattered in nerve cells. Red or purple stained sections. Glycogen granules in liver cells stained with best carmine appear as red granules. Glycogen granules in liver cells stained with periodic acid Schiff, BAS, appear as purple granules. Adult lung injected with gelatin carmine appear red in color. Glycogen granules in liver cells stained with best carmine. By eyepiece, it is a large-sized red organ. By low power, red granules are scattered in liver cells, radiating from the central vein as sun rays. Glycogen granules in liver cells stained with periodic acid Schiff, BAS. By eyepiece, it is a large-sized purple organ. By high power, purple granules are scattered in liver cells, radiating from the central vein as sun rays. Adult lung injected with gelatin carmine. By eyepiece, it is a large-sized spongy red organ. By low power, it shows thin-walled cavities, alveoli, lined with red strands, blood vessels in the interalveolar spaces. Orange stained section, adipose connective tissue stained with Sudan 3. By naked eye and eyepiece, it is a large-sized orange-shaped tissue. By low power, it is a loose type of connective tissue with excess of fat cells appearing orange in color and the presence of different collagen fibers.